Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we are, that's not the right screen. Today we are actually going to be doing a community tier list. I'm going to shift this over as well. I forgot to do that before hitting live, so don't mind me. We're doing a community tier list for Kaiju number 8, the game. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. We're also going to wait a minute for some people to click in, of course, and all that fun stuff. So I'm not sure. There we go. Okay. So we're going to wait, like I said, for a few minutes for people to trickle in and go from there. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. But I thought this could be kind of fun, you know, where we just kind of go through it together, right? Where we just go through it together and see what we have for this overall. Because, you know, I think we're in an interesting state with the game where, like, there's just a lot. And it, frankly, it is pretty early to be doing tier lists because nobody really knows much. Like, we're all kind of figuring it out together, which is a blessing and a curse for that reason, right? A lot of times, like I've said before on the channel, this game did not launch with any sort of test or anything like that. So a lot of times these games do, and you at least have an idea, especially if you got to play the network test or the beta, whatever you want to call it. You have at least an idea of how this stuff kind of works, but you know, otherwise we're all just kind of figuring it out together. But regardless, like I said, I thought this could be kind of fun. So if you're new, make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe. If you're old, make sure you hit that thumbs up too. So let me know in the comments down below, who is the best character in the game? That's where I want to start. This tier list does not have Reno on it. So just for the record, we will be ranking Reno, but he's going to be this closer guy. I don't know his name, but the closer guy with the blonde hair, he's Reno for the purposes of this stream. He does not have that otherwise. We don't have one otherwise. And this stream will also conclude whenever we finish our tier list. Hopefully you guys can see it. Can you guys see everything? Looks fine. Do I sound fine? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me make sure this is picking up everything the way it should. Just gonna, okay, yeah, it looks like it's still working properly. Sometimes, like, you know, I have a problem lately where it's like it's not showing exactly what I want it to show. It's just kind of weird. Okay, Zero Wings, what's up? Masood, I Torture, Zero Wings had Let's Go Twice. Hello, 33, Chomp Ass. I still got so much to do. Yeah. We that's not a problem, man. Like, it's cool to have a lot to do. That's a good thing. And it's funny because it's controversial because there's also a huge portion of people that say they have nothing to do despite them still having something to do. It's low-key a pet peeve for me. I'll have to do a video on it. Like, what do you do after a certain point? But also, like, just inevitably you will get to that point. It is a single player game, and you will get to the point where you're just waiting for new stuff, like the raid, for example. It's fun. Started yesterday. Nice. Hopefully you enjoy it. I played a little bit at Anime Expo 25. Oh, that's right. They did have that, but that doesn't, I mean, that's cool and all, but that doesn't really count. But I'm happy you got to play it a little bit. I mean, I don't imagine that would have given you too much access to the characters and all that stuff. It's probably just to figure out how the game plays to get you hyped for it, right? So we can delay it as much as possible. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Kaiju 8. Kaiju 8 is best. What's the best gun for 4-star Mina support? I personally like to use, I believe. I don't know everything off the top of my head. It's still too new of a game. But I think there was an attack increasing rifle for her. I mean, if you've got a 5-star one, you could put it on her if you're not using it elsewhere. Although you should be, because there's other rifle characters, right? But, yeah. And otherwise, I think there's an attack increase, and I think there's a damage reduction, right? Cheers. What's up, Alan? Everything's fine. Nice. How about this squad setup? Mina, Ashiro, first position. You can't just list names. You got to list the star ranks because I don't know which one you're talking about. First position, Gen Narumi, Ren Ichikawa, or Reno, and Kaiju 8. That's all DPSs. I wouldn't jive with that. I would want to drop one of those. You have too much kind of going on. Just don't want to build the 4-star units. Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. I'm doing good. Hope you are as well. I was going to go to sleep, but you're live. I got to watch it. Well, it'll be here for you later, man. Don't worry about it. Guys, hit that thumbs up. So I asked earlier, All 5 stars? Yeah, that's too much. If it was 4-star, I mean, it would make more sense. I think you've got too much going on. You need to add maybe 4-star Hoshina or something. I think you have a little too much. Asked earlier who the best character is. The only response I got was Kaiju. So is Kaiju the character that's going? Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna reserve one spot, right? We're gonna reserve one spot for the best character in the game. Is Kaiju the one going in that slot? Overall, single best character in the game. Because you guys decide this. Because, you know, I've had my tier lists, and they've been controversial, but they're based on my opinion. That's the one thing I think people don't really understand is tier lists are not definitive. There is no single definitive answer to a tier list that everyone unanimously would agree with. So they're all opinion-based. And so this is you guys' opinion. I will take popular opinion from you guys. So obviously, some people won't agree with certain things, but I'll take popular opinion. How about this squad? Mina, Gen, Rena. Oh, I already read that one. All 5 stars. Reno or Kaiju. Okay, Reno. Kaiju number 8 is insane. He is. They're all really good though. Those. There's just some really good characters in this game. Let's see. We got a couple for Reno, 3 Renos, a couple Kaijus. There's a Gen right there. 100% the best character in the game. It's between Reno or Kaiju. Kaiju. It would be really helpful if you say the best 4 characters. There is no definitive best 4 characters set up because you need to change your teams around. You need multiple teams for certain content. There is no definitive best team, I don't think. But if you really want to know, I did a video yesterday talking about said topic. Kaiju, you don't need a weapon. That's a good and a bad thing, by the way. It's good and bad that he doesn't use the weapon and the unit parts. That's not necessarily a great thing. Kaiju. I'm seeing more of Kaijus. I'm seeing a lot of Kaijus. Kaiju 8 doesn't need gear or weapon. Yeah. Do a poll. That's actually a good idea. I'll actually do polls from now on. You're right. I didn't even think about that. Best. Add option. I'll drop the poll in the chat right now. I've only seen Kaiju and Reno, so Gen will not be a part of this. This poll will not last very long, so pick. 4-star Hoshina at S. Make a tier list. I mean, I have 2 tier list videos of my own opinion. Reno is winning slightly. So if you voted earlier or with your text, just go into the chat really quick and hit the poll. Kaiju storms past him. And otherwise, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the chat. We're gonna do this all the way through, by the way. I'm gonna try to restrict these though per character for like a couple minutes, otherwise we'd be here for like 3 hours making this. Is Kikuru stronger at 3-star than other without ascending? What do you mean? Is Kikuru at 3 stars better, 3 ascension better than other characters without any? Probably. But if that's what you're asking me, that's probably the case across the board. Like, that's probably the case pretty much across the board, give or take 1 or 2 characters. Kaiju has taken the lead slightly. You get free Reno set and a very good weapon for Valor, so no excuse. Reno clears. I actually put that set on Gen, actually. If you're talking about the beginner pass thing, right, where it gives you I put those on Gen. Because the answer to this, for me, is between Reno and Gen, not Kaiju. But I understand. For right now, Kaiju, since there isn't a lot of content, but down the line, he definitely won't be the best unit. I might need to go for Gen, because Gen is really good. Kaiju 8 may feel traumatized using a fellow Kaiju as a weapon. All right, so it looks like he also has... So here's the deal. I keep seeing Kaiju doesn't need weapons and stuff. Again, that's not necessarily a great thing either. It is good in the short term. He doesn't need unipart or weapon. That's good right now. Day 1, that is good. Because it's one less thing you have to worry about. It's one less thing you need to invest in. It's one less thing you have to put on him that you could be putting on other characters. However, it also hard caps his potential because other characters are able to get the benefits of the weapon effects. Now, you get a weapon, you keep advancing and advancing it. Those weapons are really, really strong. The uniparts add a lot of stats to your characters, and the set 15 bonuses are also really, really strong. And ultimately, Kaiju is a character that, as a result, I feel pretty definitively strong in this. He's a character that is going to start tapering off while other characters still maintain their usability because of those things. Kaiju is going to be a character that's going to wind up needing more support to bring out the best of him, while other characters can get the benefits of a weapon, of a unipart, and then get the support as well to peak highly. So that's kind of where it is. It would be one thing if his dupes were better. His dupes are solid. They're solid. It would be one thing if his dupes were better, though. So, like, I get that that's good, but it's also not the best thing ever. But that's more so like a months from now thing, couple months from now. Maybe we'll see a little bit of decline there. Also, my thing with Kaiju is that he's got some wonky stuff. I like the 50% taunt. However, I haven't found a boss that made me really need it on the normal attack. The insta delete is cool on the combat skill. However, it only works against small Kaiju. So it's almost it's solid. It's something. It's cool. It's good. It's there, right? But it's not something you can rely on, right? And most of the time, you're fighting against bigger than miniature or whatever it is Kaiju. So there are things here that you can talk about. Like, it's not so clear, definitive. Whereas with Reno, I don't see weaknesses. That's the thing. With Reno, I don't see weaknesses. So that's why, to me, I would pick Reno over Kaiju. But this has been, Kaiju 56? Oh, so people were voting yes or no. I'll end the poll. Kaiju is the winner. Okay, so Kaiju is the community's winner for best. There you go. So regardless of how I feel, this is you guys' list. So I'm cool with that. All right, so second best character, because we'll go left to right. Who is the second best character? Give me some names, and I'll create a poll for those characters. In the meantime, I'll be in the chat. We got 10 Leisure Set Purple, and you can farm Spider. Yeah. That's the stuff from the beginner pass. I put that on Gen, and I just kept re-rolling. I probably shouldn't have. I could have put 2 high level ones, but I really wanted that. I think 15, and I don't know that I wound up getting it. I think more people have Kaiju than any other. As someone who has every 5-star, Gen is way better. Yeah, Gen was the character I would have put in that grouping. I would have put Gen in that grouping personally, but it's fine. The 4-star Hoshina and Narumi combo is hands down my favorite. It's really good. Reno. When you do 20 to 25K on his single target, you would know. I don't know what that's referencing. My bad. Gen and Kaiju can also do that. The damage? Okay. I would say best right now since game is early. I think that's fair. I want to caution that topic, on Kaiju, because there is a downside to that, right? The tier list is based on now and current. For the record, I still don't think he's the best with current content. I was just talking on that one thing, for the record. Like, if that wasn't clear, I still personally don't. So that was just me commenting on that one mindset. Again, is basically needed for tower. I forgot what it's called. The fierce battle. Makes my eyes bleed. What makes your eyes bleed? Kaiju? Okay. All right, so we're going to create it now. So Gen is basically needed. Gen, Isao, Gen, Reno, or Gen. I'll throw all 3 in. And the order you guys rank them in will be our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So I'm creating the poll now. It will be Isao, Gen. Oh, 4-star Hoshino. Okay, I guess we can't go too far. We can't go too far because maybe some people want to put other characters in. All right, so we'll create a poll with a number of characters in it. How about this? And then that will be the order. I don't want to do that, though. Let's just go Reno again. Let's just keep it simple. No need to rush. I'll just go Reno again. Because I'm seeing a hole if I do that. Too many options because people can't vote. So I'll just go Reno again. 4-star Soshiro. Reno Gen is up now, by the way. I don't want to do too many options. Kaiju 8 for me is just a meat shield because of the taunt. I mean, he takes a lot of damage in my experience. In my experience, he sometimes versus harder content, I feel like he needs a supporter next to him because he just gets hit really hard. Okay, it looks like Gen is running away with the second character. Between Gen and Reno, it's a 69-31 landslide right now. So make sure you vote. It's a landslide right now. Gen, Narumi, Kaiju isn't even top 3 in my opinion. Gen, Reno, and Rio and 4-star Ocean are all more helpful. Yeah, that's a strong team. Reno on top, he can freeze. Come on. Yeah, so the Reno thing, Reno is awesome. The freezing is great. It's actually great. And then the action order rewind is great too. Like Reno has like he's got good damage, he's got really good utility as well. And then he's always constantly doing extra damage with the ice crystals as well. Like he's really solid, man. I like Reno a lot. The freeze isn't that good though. Gen can just break Kaiju faster, which is better than freezing. I mean, they both have their own merits, excuse me. So y'all are really using the freeze comp with Coda and Reno. I'm using all these characters together. I really like that combination. And you also can freeze post-break, too. Ren is the only one in the best. Kaiju is strong, but needs ISO because he needs sustain. Or Isao because he needs sustain. Yeah, that's my feeling with Kaiju is that he kind of needs help a little bit, which I didn't also talk about. Okay, so we're going to end this poll. Reno is third. Gen is second. So that's going to be the conclusion of that poll. So who's going to be next? Let me know in the comments. Reno, Gen. Oh, that's right. We don't actually have Reno, so this guy is the Reno proxy. I was looking for him. I was like, where is Reno? Dude, move. Okay, cool. Perfect. Oh, no. Actually, Gen won. My bad. Gen actually won that. So Reno is currently the third ranked character in the game. I saw a lot of Hoshina 4 stars. Are we throwing him into the next poll alongside who else should we put? 4-star Hoshina, yes. Did you guys get shafted on Reno? I can't believe you would put anyone ahead of Reno. It's not my tier list. It's everybody else's tier list. But I think there was a valid comment earlier is that a lot of people have invested in and used Kaiju. And I don't think it's a hot take to put Gen above Reno either. I think that's a 1A, 1B personally. But I think there is something to that. I think Kaiju is, and I do think Kaiju is strong. And he's got the high base stats. He's got all those extra percentile bonuses between his effects and passives. He's good. He's very good. I think he also really wants that fourth dupe so he can start healing. And then he also has other merit to him. I think it's more like visible with him, I guess, from the jump too. When he does like the 99999 hit damage for that combat skill sometimes, it's like, what the hell? This is insane. I had somebody tell me they thought he was bugged. I was like, no, bro, that's intentional. He's supposed to delete whoever he's versus. It's just very specific. It's not going to happen often. All right. Who else we put in? Isao, Hoshina. Isao, Hoshina. I have 3 dupes for Reno. He's insane. Yeah. Well, like I mentioned earlier, any character that's got those dupes in them is like automatically super good because those dupes are super impactful. Like, for example, I keep bringing this up, but freaking Isao getting a revive on his second dupe is insane. That's insane to me. All right, so we're going to put Hoshina 4-star. And we'll put Isao. And those will be our next 2. Go to the chat, vote. Also hit that thumbs up. Thank you. I already know who's going to win this for the record, but I already know who's going to win this, but we did it anyway. If it was Reno and Kaiju for number 1, how is Reno not on 2? Because I just ran another poll. That's what happened. Technically, if you want to, you could use that logic and I could just go down the gambit. Should we do that? I mean, you could. I just ran a second poll. I didn't want to do it that way. But should we do that? Should we move Reno to number 2? Even though he lost the second poll, should we do that? Because he lost another poll. That, to me, losing another poll tells me that Gen should have been in the initial poll. It tells me Gen should have been in the initial poll. So, which I thought he should have been. I was surprised to see he wasn't, frankly. But what do you guys think I should do? Ren is the best one. I have both with 5-star weapon, and Gen is just more helpful. No hate on Reno. I think those two gap the game at the moment. I think the big thing with Gen is that he's got the duel. I keep bringing this up, but he's got the duel, right? And so he just breaks stuff so fast. And he's always doing the adjacent hits, so he's just breaking everybody at once. Like he does good damage too, so he's just blowing everything up, right? And as opposed to a character like Rin, for example, who's like actually hitting everybody, the adjacency does have a fall off that you know, if you destroy a target, maybe you can't hit all 3 of them, or you can only hit 1 at a time. So they don't limit as much the amount of damage he's doing. Whereas the AoE ones, they neuter the damage as a result because they're constantly hitting everybody no matter what. And so he is a little susceptible to that, but that's another good and bad thing, right? So he just still does good damage across the board. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Hoshina is winning. It's actually not as close, or it is closer than I thought it was. Please explain how he isn't too. I just said that we would do another. We would change that if you guys think I should change that. So let me know if we should change that. You should do Gen versus Kaiju. Should we? No, Kaiju won definitively. You guys didn't put Gen in the first one. I can't do that. That's retroactive, man. But the explanation, T5, is that I ran a second poll with the second and third most voted characters. That's why. And he just happened to lose another poll, which tells me, like I said, Gen should have been in the initial. If you guys thought he was the second best character, he should have won the second poll. Hoshina is 4-star Hoshina. Isao is not A. S, he's A. He only brings sustain, which, to be honest, you don't need as long as you kill the enemies fast. Or first. I guess they're the same thing. That's kind of true and also not true. So 2 things. Firstly, he does okay damage. He also is one of the few blunt characters in the game, which does matter, which is also a feather in Kaiju's hat as well, being a blunt character. That does matter. He does good damage on the ultimate, which is also just him doing good damage in general. The sustain is valuable. He's one of the only 3 characters, could we say 3? I think it's really 2, him and Akari, that can help your characters be more survivable. And I think a character, for example, like Kaiju, really would benefit from that. He draws aggro, which again is another form of helping that. And then lastly, another big thing about this is that that's not 100% true. As you take on harder content, I initially thought that way too, but as you get deeper into Fierce Battle, you need the sustain characters. You start plugging them in, and then all of a sudden it makes more sense. Right. And then also in those harder stages for farming content, all of a sudden you kind of really want a sustain character because you start taking a lot of damage. Like seriously, they start hitting really hard. I think that's more valuable than it gets credit for. Early game, you don't see it as much, and you're 100% right. You just blow everything up fast. But that actually doesn't remain the case. I think that changes a good bit as you get deeper in, at least from my experience. Hoshina is infinitely more useful. You should do Gen versus Kaiju. Poll was tied for a good minute. It's still tied. I can't end it because the poll is tied. But we had someone just say that he's infinitely more useful. Reno is way better, has more hacks compared to Gen. A poll with all 3 of these guys to determine the order. Should we do that? That may be a good idea. How about Kafka versus Kaiju? Hey, I started building up my Kafka because I'm like, I'm going to do a video on this guy. Why? Because he's a free max dupe character. He's got some fun stuff in his kit. His Kaiju is not bad either. He's also got an AoE on his Kaiju. I kind of want to use him a little bit. It's annoying because he's another attacker and everybody's a goddamn attacker. So it's just you're farming the same resources repeatedly, and then you're leveling skills and you're farming the same goddamn red crystal tube thing repeatedly, and it's annoying as shit. But I kind of want to use Kafka and his Kaiju. Only thing you really need Hoshina's first dupe. Yeah, don't you get that for free? You get Hoshina for free at the start. Don't you get his dupe for free as well? I could be mistaken on that, but I know you get him for free. Oh, Isao also does have a damage dealt buff. Yeah, it's on the back end of his passive. You're right. How does Battle Buddy work? Go to my team building video and check it out. It's one from yesterday. But the characters next to each other, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, they're battle buddies for each other, basically. But in that video, I talk about like the prioritization of that. Isao is way more useful. See, like, this is actually a really close poll, but I'm going to end it. Hoshina wins 52-48. That's just one person broke the tie, by the way. One person broke that tie. So Hoshina takes that spot. And then Isao takes the next spot. And after that, the next characters that we rank, you guys can let me know. However, we are going to do, I think it would be interesting. If we do a 3-character poll to determine the order between the top 3 characters, that'll give you guys it. Percentages don't add up. I don't. It said 52, but all of a sudden it says 51. I don't know why. It said 52 and I hit end. Oh, where's that 1%? I don't know where it went, but it was there a second ago. Somebody maybe changed their answer. I don't know. Maybe they're mid changing it. I don't know. All right, let's just put these 3 and see what you guys say. Again, I said Hoshina. Again, Kaiju. I still kind of feel dirty if we change Kaiju because he earned it. I mean, you guys chose him. I'll let this go for like 15 votes, and then after that we'll move on. And then let me know who should we put in next. 4-star Mina, okay. Coda. 4-star Mina, okay. 4-star Mina versus Rio. Yeah, Rio should be mentioned. Coda without Fell, LOL, is S. Coda is this guy, right? You're talking about the shield guy, right? With the black hair with the white streak? That guy? That's him, right? Because, I mean, if you're talking about Rio, then I think he's absolutely what I would consider for S. Rio is better than Mina. 4-star Mina and Rio should be an S. Okay, well, fine. Well, if you guys want to add another character to S, then fine. I don't want to keep S like as a 10. I guess it doesn't really matter, to be honest. You know what? It doesn't matter. We'll just place them. Because they're ranked one through. You guys have Isao, for example, ranked as the 5th best character in the game. So I guess it's flawed because you may not be thinking about some of these characters at the time I position them to you. But yeah, it's flawed, but still. Oh, all of a sudden, Kaiju is coming in 3rd. Oh no. What? Hey, Kaiju believers better come on and change that. All of a sudden, he's in 3rd. This is why I didn't want to run another poll for this, because I didn't think it was fair that we would do that, and he won it fair and square, man. Gen has a fan. Gen is legit, dude. And you know what? The funny thing with Gen is every time I make a video, it somehow links back to Gen. And I'm like, dude, in the last video earlier today, I was like, hold on, I'm not even going to talk about Gen because I feel like I've glazed him so much. I just can't talk about him. He's too good. And he's too easy to talk about just because, like I said earlier, the dual typing thing on him, the shot / thing, whatever, it's really good. It's really good, man. So So he's really easy to talk about. So he's insane, man. But again, Reno is awesome too. So currently Gen is winning. Kaiju is in third. Gen is my king. Gen fans are being biased. I mean, that's all this really is, though. Why do y'all value shield so much? It's just probably because it's one of the only ways of sustain. And then he also, it's not only shield, he also takes hits. Unless you're talking about Coda, which in Coda's case, if I recall correctly, he only gives himself that shield, doesn't he? He draws aggro and gives himself that shield. When above 50% HP, he is more likely to take hits. And after using a normal, he gets a shield. I don't think he even gives it to somebody else. By the way, in Coda's defense, he also has the freeze to delay action as well. So we were talking about how good that is on Reno. That is good on Coda as well by default. He also has an attack debuff. He gets defense up, effect hit rate up. So, I mean, he's got some stuff. He's not bad. But I've said repeatedly, I don't think any character is bad in this game. I think they're all usable. All right, well, we're really close. I was going to say we're going to end that poll. Gen and Reno are almost like tied. So if you got to vote between those two, then there you go. And then we'll start the next one, which you guys were saying was Mina and Rio. So we're going to do Mina and Rio next. Pseudo taunt. Yeah, that's pretty much what that is. There's actually not like a dedicated, like, I'm going to always take every hit. Because even Isao, I don't think, has every hit coming his way. They relieve it after a while. Yeah, it's not, yeah, what it is Isao has, while having a shield, the chances are increased slightly. We don't know what slightly means. Is that like, 20% more likely? 50%? What is slightly, right? We don't know what that means. So we can't really put a number to it. But he only has that, and it's only when he has a shield. So there's not even like an actual dedicated taunt in this game so far. That would be interesting when we actually get something like that, where a character is designed to literally eat hits. Like, Isao can get there, but he's ultimately designed to wind up dying and then revive. Like, that's why that's in his kit. Because he's just going to take so many hits. Talking about Coda? Yeah, I figured. Reno also has dual typing. He does. Correct. That's why. Oh my God, they're tied. They're tied. But that's why I think those two are the best two characters in the game. But the difference also is while Reno has it, he's not always constantly hitting everybody the same way that Gen is, right? Reno has an adjacent on his ultimate. But the combat skill single target. So that's the difference. That actually makes a humongous difference, by the way. Because you're able to spam that combat skill repeatedly. Someone said, oh, let's go. All right, we're ending the poll there. Okay, so changes are in. Changes are in. Changes are in. There's your new poll, or your new tier list. Not Reno is in one, because that's not Reno, but it is for the purposes of the stream. I need to add a Reno image. Hey, all right. So that was it. Oh, man. All right, hit that thumbs up, guys. We're going to start the next one now, which is, again, who is it? Mina and Rio, right? And this one will not be very long, so get in there. It's 4-star Mina, by the way. And in the meantime, who should we put after these two in the poll? Let me know. Percentages don't add. I don't know why why they start breaking after a while with these percentages. This is just weird. 40, 37, 21. It doesn't look like that on my end, but when they finalize, they look like that. I don't know what's happening. I demand a recount. I look away and Gen was in the lead and it changed at the last minute. Who's Rio? Oh, man, you're missing out big time. Rio is this guy who's now in C tier. I just placed him there so you can see him. You are missing out big time. Rio is awesome. I second the recount. No, we can't run that again. That's basically the second time we've done that. And Kaiju went from 1 to 3. People weren't this involved voting for a president. Oh my god. Rio top 3 support easily. I don't think he's 3 either. He's 1 or 2. There's only 3 support. There's more than that, technically. There's more than that. Maybe there isn't. I feel like no, there is because Haruichi and Iharu are both supports. Maybe that's it. Maybe there's 4, like actual support rolled characters. No, Keiji is a support. So there's 5. Ikari she's a defender. Mina has better damage buffs, but Rio gives speed. It's really 50-50. Yeah, that's the swing for me, is the speed from Rio. Like, that's huge, especially with the characters that are number 1 and 2 on the list. They benefit so much. Rio definitely S tier. Well, I decided that we wouldn't really, it doesn't really matter because they're listed one through. I could technically make this page super long and just put each one in their own row, 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really matter. The tiers on the left don't matter. Why is every poll tied? People are pretty... Well, the reason why is because I asked you guys who to put in there, and it's split from the jump. And so they're going to wind up being pretty close as a result. But who are we putting in the next one? Rio top 2? Yeah, I think he's top 2. Mina's damage support doubles Rio's. Yeah, but like we were talking about, it's the speed. It's the speed. Like, you got speed on what? The ultimate and on... Let me pull them up. It's the ultimate, and I feel like it's on the passive, too. No, it's attack on the passive, and then speed. And, charge rate. That's what it was. It's speed, charge rate, ultimate. He's got a lot going on. So he's really good. He also, by default, at the start of the turn... when he gets that last passive for level 80, gives 2 turns of attack increase as well. He starts off with the ultimate gauge up. He's designed to repeatedly try to get to his ultimate, which is why he also gets that charge rate and then throws the ultimate. So he's going to be ultimating consistently when you level him up. And so that's the focus for this character. But Mina's also very good. I have Mina right behind him in my ranking of support characters. And again, the speed is the differentiator for me. Next is 5-star Mina versus Rin. Mina gives 2 damage increases plus attack buff. Yeah, again, I think Mina has better attack increases, if that wasn't clear. It's the speed. And it's the speed particularly because you're using him with Hoshina. And ideally the top 2 characters, and you're just lapping the enemy. And they never really get turns. And he just feeds into that. That's the main reason why I personally have him higher. But Mina does really strong support bonuses. Rin is an F tier. You guys said Rin, and I'm like, oh, I think there's some other characters we can look at first. But hey, if you guys want Rin versus 5-star Mina, then fine. We'll do it. This one is quite literally 50-50. All right, we're going to end this one in a moment. So whoever is... Oh, there it goes. 52-48. And they probably didn't even hear me say it yet. All right. That because there's like a delay on the audio of like 20 seconds or something. Okay, so she wins. And then he's going to be next as a result. That's what we'll do. If it wasn't clear, we've been doing that. I like I said earlier, I put Gen, or I put who? Reno, and a second poll. We're not going to do second polls. We're just going to keep going. Where is she at? Here she is. So she wins. She's next. We're going to just move down to A tier. Not because they're A tier, but because I don't want this list to get 10 units long in one row. Okay. Rin. Rio support is valid. Turn-based games run off speed, and any speed support automatically is good. Yeah, that's the thing. Speed is always king in these turn-based games. We're gonna put Rin in if you guys don't change it, because Rin's the only other character I saw besides 5-star Mina. We could do Kikaru as well. Yes. There's also a Kari there. There's 5-star Hoshina. There's some of the damage over time characters like Tay. There's still stuff on the board. Kikaru sounds better. We could do Kikaru. Rin, good AoE and energy break. Yeah, Rin's solid. She's solid. That's as far as I will go. She's solid. I don't have anything against her. I just don't think she's like great. And some of that's just because, like I've said repeatedly, I just think that pretty much all these characters are good. I seriously do. Like when I sit down and read them and use them, I'm like, man, you can find a way to use any of these characters if you really wanted to. They're all really good. And they all have specific things they're good at. You know, I think Rin would be like 10 times more valuable if she had an element on there. If she had an element, I think she'd be 10 times more valuable. Like, I don't know, fire or something. It doesn't matter what it is, just something. I think she'd be super valuable. Tahim really likes Rin. The last few comments are all Rin. Kikaru versus Hoshina sounds better. Healer is automatic A. Can we agree? She's the only one. No one is bad, but I think there's a noticeable decline in how good the rest of the list will be. That could be true. But because what happens is, to me, some of these characters are just better at some of the same things that they both want to do. That doesn't mean another character's bad. It just means another character's better at it. So you would prioritize using that character instead. All right, we're going to start the next poll. We're going to go actually 3 characters this poll because you guys did throw in a few. And so if there's no objections, it's going to be Rin, 5-star Mina, and I saw Kikaru 2 times. So it would be Kikaru there. There was one from Wheezy on Hoshina, but it would be those 3. If she was breaking 2 plates with all those AoEs with a dual typing, she'd be... Yeah, that's my thing. And that's kind of what makes Gen so insane. Hey, man, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Mina is B or C, but Rin is A? Okay. All right, we're going to start with those 3. And we'll rank them in the order. Okay, polls up. We'll rank them according to the order that they get. That's where we'll place them. And we'll run it for a few minutes. 5-star Mina, just because she's one of the better raid characters, assuming there will be a recurring event. Somebody rose an interesting question to me, or concern to me about her, is that she's not able to adequately often get her crit bonus at the time that she has her ultimate. I wish I could really test that. I don't have her. I really wish I could test that. But if that is the case, I do think that is something that's a concern, like an oversight. I wonder if this game will do balance adjustments. That feels like a tweak that could be fixed. I wonder if this game will do balance adjustments. I mean, all games kind of, I don't want to say all, but most games kind of do at some point, especially later on in their lifespan. But I wonder about that. Mina damage is low because of skill. But Mina only good in raids. Still no way to play on PC? No. Not unless you have an emulator that works. I saw some people are on emulators. Some people are struggling with emulators. So, and also I've noticed between my devices, I have several high-end devices, whether it's a tablet or a couple phones. This game runs differently on all of them. For example, my tablet, which is a good tablet released this year, it plays this game, but it's like super goddamn laggy. I don't get it. There's no reason why it would be laggy. It's the only game that happens to. It's just not optimized perfectly. My phone plays it pretty fine. There's no real problems. And then my other phone, same deal. It's kind of nice. The other phone has it like with like, I don't know, like pixelated graphics, even though it's on high. It's weird. So I don't know what's going on with this, but I would really like for a PC client to come out because I don't know where that's at. Kikaru has a pseudo AoE and defense down. Also decent single target. Kikaru is another character I want to do a video on. Kikaru is a character that I think I've seen oscillate, for lack of a better term, so much in these lists. Some people have her super high, some people have her low. Now, in my first tier list, I had her, I think, as a second. Like global launch, I called it a way too early tier list because it was frankly way too early. In fact, anything probably in the first week is too early, to be honest with you, but they're fun to make. Anyway, I had her pretty high. I've seen some people have her pretty low. Just like any other character, when she's built up, I'm sure she could just shred. So I want to test her out, see how she looks. It's just they're all goddamn attackers, bro. I don't have the resources to level up 10 attackers, right? Like I'm already refreshing my stamina with the 100 refresh, gem one, simply because I want to do videos for you guys. But I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. I'm maxing out Expedition. I would actually recommend at least a couple in Expedition because I think that would be long-term value of refreshes there. But there's just so many attackers. So like when people say Gen, Reno, Kaiju, these are the best characters in the game, well, like, okay, well, you're going to focus on them. You're not going to get to investing much in anybody else, right? There's just too many characters of the same class. And so as a result, Kikaru, who I've seen really low on lists, is a character that is not a beneficiary of that. Also, Hoshina. Hoshina kind of gets that a little bit too. Which, ironically, Kikaru is winning this list. So we're going to end it in a minute. So if you think it's Rin or Mina, we're going to end it in a minute. Which, by the way, they're going to get placed. All three of them will be placed according to their positions. So these are the next three best characters in the game that you guys have. My only issue with 5-star is her ult kind of takes a while. Sometimes whenever she gets a max focus stack for 100% crit, the ult isn't up in time and buffs get wasted. Yeah, see, that's one thing I had seen too. I wish I could test that. Mina shines more in late game content since that's mostly giant class kaiju. Yeah, that's true. And I do like how that buff isn't like specific to like the ultimate or something. She just always has that buff where she's getting that extra damage against giant kaiju. I think that's legitimately really good. Kikaru hits so hard. With that defense down, and her first stoop giving her critical hit rate, she also stacks the crit damage, I believe, on her passive with the way up top or whatever it's called, top up. I was reading her and I was like, and day one, I was like, man, she seems insane. The only thing she's missing is crit rate. And then her first stoop gives crit rate. Now, it's hard to get a dupe of a character, but still. Okay, we're going to end the poll. Kikaru actually won this one pretty handily, with Mina coming in second and Rin being the last one. Okay. And like I said, S, A, B, C, that doesn't matter. We're just moving them down a row so they're not all, bunched up. It's another poll where it's 1% short. I wonder why it's doing that. That's really weird. Mina, then Rin. All right, so who's our next character? You guys have ranked everyone but Hoshina. All the 5 stars but Hoshina have been ranked. Damn. Y'all don't like Hoshina. I think a benefit to him is that the game doesn't restrict you from using same name characters. Because 4-star Hoshina, I've actually seen people saying 4-star Hoshina is overrated. And the reason why is because 4-star Hoshina does not have a strong follow-up. And so as a result, his follow-up doesn't do great damage. And there's value in having a strong hitting character as a follow-up in the battle buddy. Like I explained in my team building video, there's value in that because you'd be more likely, especially if you put a character as a battle buddy to somebody that like, say, for example, you put a blunt character as a battle buddy for Gen, all of a sudden you're covering pretty much everything you need. Or maybe, I guess it's more appropriate to say Reno, because you at least have an element there too. And so you're breaking characters faster with those follow-ups. You're also doing extra damage a lot of times as a result on that follow-up, and just gets you going more. So there's arguments about it, but I just value that support. And then also, lastly, another reason why they were saying that is because he doesn't really do much aside from enable another character. And so ultimately, as a result, their point was that you would get more overall if you used a stronger character, as opposed to just making one character hyper carry. Which, I mean, I can understand that. I'd need to go test the numbers, of course, but I can understand that idea. But to me, he's still really good. He's an insane character. Rin in A. Like I said, it doesn't matter. She got good to get AoE and break. Her ult, AoE and follow-up. The game fears AoE, though. The game fears AoE? What do you mean? Her multipliers are horrid. Yeah, that's... Oh, you're saying... You're okay, you're arguing that she doesn't... Yeah. That's my whole thing, is her numbers for damage are extremely low. If you read her, she's got, like, what, double digits? At base, anyway. I'm sure it goes up. But I think her base numbers are double digits, right? I'd have to go into the shop and check her, because she's the only other 5-star I don't own. So that's my only thing with her, is that, like, she kind of gets screwed by having the full AoE. It would be better if she had an adjacent hit, like Gen does, for example, because they wouldn't neuter her percentages. 5-star Hoshin and the healer. Mina healer. Did we not already put... Mina's already on the list. I don't think anyone else is better than the healer at this point. Even Rin is iffy. Personally, I would have put Akari right before Kikaru in this list. Personally. But Akari was probably a little bit of an oversight. And some of that also is, I think, like we were talking about earlier, for a lot of people, you don't really need supports, and so that's been the sentiment, or sustains, I guess. But I do 100% think you need them as you get into the game later, because they start hitting you really, really hard. Now, you could make an argument that with the speed team specifically, you may be fine, because you'll just lap them so much. But with any other team, you're going to take hits, and you're going to take a lot of damage. That was something we were talking about with Isao earlier. The healer, not Mina, forgot the name. I think they mean Minase Akari. Okay. 5-star Isao, Kaiju number 8, Kikuru, and Gen. Nice. Okay, so we're going to put Akari with who? Or is she just going to the next slot? Thanks for tuning in, Wolf. I appreciate it. 5-star Hoshin has an AoE and is kind of fast. He doesn't do anything else, but he does all those crits, though. Like, that's one thing I think is really beneficial to him. He's just such a crit monster. So that's valuable. And he's also got that extra damage against, what, miniature Kaiju? So he's strong. He's strong. And he's fast. He can do his thing. He could be useful. He's just blah, blah, blah. He is the classic example, though, of a character who I think falls down my list personally, because there are characters ahead of him that do what I would rather have on my team. Like, I'd rather have another character. Like, Gen, for example. Ultimately, they're trying to do the same thing. I'd rather have Gen. So, you know, it is what it is. So that's the way I view it. And maybe you don't view it that way. We got 18 likes. Let's get those up, guys. Hopefully we can get over 30. I appreciate it. We are rounding the corner on, I think, an hour live. Yeah, we're close to an hour. I actually thought this was going to be like a 30-minute stream, if I'm being honest with you. But it's been fun to talk to you guys. Okay, we're going to put Kari, then Hoshina. She's just next. Hoshina can lead the charge in B. Okay. Since I saw mostly her and I only saw, I think, one Hoshina, I'm just going to put Akari next. And so we'll just kind of skip this poll, because I think that seems to be the general. I do think it's fair. I think she's better than pretty much everyone else on the list. So Hoshina and who? Hoshina and who will be the next poll? Jack, that's what happens when you interact with the chat, man. That's what happens when you interact with the chat. You run polls that last like 5 minutes. You know, it is what it is. I thought you would be happy that I'm talking to you guys so intently. You know, a lot of people wouldn't be reading you guys' chats like that. And we only got 85 in here, but still, you know. Yeah, I am trying to make it as good as you guys can do it. Like, I'm not trying to blitz through it. Initially, though, like I said, I thought it would be a quicker one because I wasn't planning on doing polls. Polls have changed this drastically. So anyway, Hoshina and who? After the Hoshina, the others don't matter. Damn. Hoshina is my favorite Kaiju 8 character, so I'm kind of biased. I wish his 5-star was better, but at least we should be getting a Season 2 spoiler version of him. Yeah, that... How many episodes away is that? I wonder. All right, and you know they're going to... Oh, we got to start saving. You know they're going to have a character for that day one, just like Reno. You know it's happening. That's like, I don't know, 2 weeks, 1 week, depending what they want to do. You're just joking? Okay, I see you. Hoshina and the 4-star elementals. You guys really don't care about the rest of the characters on this list, huh? Not even Kafka, who transforms. There's utility in here though, like AG and KG. I think that's their names, right? I think they both have They both have stuns. There's a poison there. There's the fire damage. Haruichi's kind of... I think he has damage over time with lightning, but he's like a lightning-based support. There's no lightning DPS in the game, so there's that. What's it called? Takauchi, the blonde... I don't know, the elf-looking guy. I forget his name. He's got a bunch of debuffs and buff clears, right? So there's... I mean, it just depends what you want to do, right? I don't really care as much about what Reno and Kikaru, because they're trying to be attackers, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm just never going to get to them. I will eventually, of course, but they're just so low down the list because there's so many 5-star attackers. So good dogging my boy Koda. Koda's also solid. We talked about him earlier when we were talking about Isao. So there's Koda too. Like there's some good stuff down here. Didn't read the manga and I know what you're talking about. Well, if you've been watching the anime, you should know because they've already been teasing it. We already know what's going to happen with that guy. Who else is really worth the resources? That's a good... Well, I was going to say that's a good question, but it kind of just depends what you want to do. Because like I just was explaining, these characters, some of them, they have niche use cases, but they have value. We're up to 22. Let's get that like to 30. Thank you. They have value, though. It just depends what you're doing. There's only like 3 left in season. That's true. I didn't know what episode number we were on. So it's going to happen. Is it going to be on the tail end of the final, like a cliffhanger type? Tay is actually good. Yeah, I think some of these characters are good. She's also one of them. Do you play the Expedition? I started off playing it a lot first couple days. Got really into trying to grind stuff, though. So I need to go back to it, admittedly. Not better than others. You're not going to build them. Eventually, I will. I will eventually build every character here. And the reason why is because ideally, at least by next week, I want to start doing videos for each and every character individually here. That's where I'm going to transition to. I'm going to show you guys how to build these characters, in my opinion, of course. Their best, not so much best weapon, because I think that's pretty generic, because we know what the best weapon is typically. Although there is a little bit of variance because they have those 5-star weapons from the battle pass. But anyway, the best uniparts, which skill to prioritize, showing them in gameplay. Like I want to transition to that. Like if you've been a long time subscriber, you've seen me do that similar style with Dokkan or with Legends. I didn't really do it so much with like solo leveling or JJK so much. I never felt super duper comfortable with those games to do that type of stuff. But I do want to do that here. So that's what I will eventually build all these characters. We probably should have gone from the bottom. No one cares anymore. You're right. So I guess this is what we'll do. We'll go rapid fire. We will stop running polls. Hoshino was the most talked about character. Who's next on the list? Is 110 pulls too deep? For what? Like on Reno's banner? Do you have him? What are you pulling for? If you're pulling solely for the weapon, I would say stop. I think the weapons are good, but I've seen so many people say they're still pulling for the weapon. They need more gems to keep pulling on the weapons, so they could go to pity. I saw somebody on Twitter saying they're going to pity, which, by the way, follow on Twitter if you're not. Interact with me there as well. You could send me questions and stuff linked in the description. And I'm like, dude, don't go to stop. Don't do it. It's too early for that, in my opinion. If you want to do it, fine. In my opinion, I think it's too early because they're gonna throw another banner or two next week, and you're gonna be like, "Holy shit, I have no summons." Stop. Especially because the 4-star weapons are also legitimately good. When you advance them as well, they start jumping in power with their passive effects. The 4-star weapons are legitimately good. Legitimately. Again, Kaiju, 4-star Hoshina, and Healer is a good starter team. You don't need the others who aren't on the list. And generally, yeah. I like I mentioned earlier, I want to do a video on Kafka because he is actually a unique character because he's a free max limit break. Max. So I want to see how he looks. Iharu, okay. Suited is S+. I can't wait till they put these other characters in here somewhere as playables. Who is that? That's a proxy for Reno. We didn't have Reno. So Reno was the one that got ranked as number 1 after a revote. I got 2 dupes on Reno, and I'm a 120 for the weapon pity. I ain't stopping. You should still stop. Well, if you spend anything, then keep going. But if you're free, I would say stop. But hey, do you. I would say you could also get that. I don't think it's free though. I have to go back and confirm. I don't think it's free. The 5-star from the battle pass. But hey, you could get that, and it's a really good weapon too. That's the one I use on my Reno. Any 4-star that isn't Shinomiya can be next. 4-star Shinomiya should get her own tier at the bottom. God damn. Why are you such a hater? At the bottom, bro, what did she do to you? Oh man, is there no 50-50? No, there's no 50-50. This game operates a little differently. So like the rates are higher. This is an 8% rate, right? I think it's an 8% rate game. That's not what you see most of the time. Typically you see 50-50s because the game rates are low. They're like 3% or less. You don't see 8% gacha rates anymore. But that comes with the downside, right? Also, a lot of games start doing like those soft pities where like for example, solo leveling, when you get to 64, your chance goes up with every single summon afterwards by like 5% or something like that. It gets pretty crazy. So like you're not getting to 80 without pulling the 5-star. You're not getting to 80, which is the guaranteed number. On the 80th pull, you're guaranteed a 50-50. You're not getting there because the chances get too high as you go. So like I think that's a pretty good system, but the rates here are pretty high. And so that's why like on random singles, you'll see people with 5-stars. That doesn't happen often in a lot of these games. We're 5 likes short of the goal. Like guaranteed after you don't get the character because I got like 5+ 5-star weapons. Yeah, no. And that's also probably why the weapons are in there because they kind of dilute the pool a little bit. I can't tell you how many times I pulled freaking Rin's 5-star weapon and I don't even have her. I pulled it like 4 times and I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? The good news is if you have a weapon you don't want, you can exchange it and get 1 copy per month of one weapon that you do want in the shop. You can dismantle it, go to your storage, dismantle it, get the crystal, go take that crystal to the shop, and you can change it 1 time per month for a weapon that you do want. That's a tip. That was a tip in my other video from a few days ago. ID level, my account level, I'm logged in right now. I'm 36 right now. I'm ranked 36. 4 likes now. My fault. Damn. Oh, we got over the goal. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. 4-star Hoshina. I guess y'all don't care about these characters, so I'll kind of just throw them in then. I'll just say that these were unranked, or do we just throw them in? Because you guys don't care. I asked you like 5 times who's next. You guys don't care about these characters, clearly. For better or worse. True, but getting a lot of 5-star weapons, like 5-star characters and 20. Yeah, that's the downside. Like I said, that's kind of why they're in there, to dilute it. Because you're gonna get a lot. Like I was just explaining, that happens to me too. I get a lot. And so ultimately, it just has the pity at the end, where you're guaranteed to get. You can just go get the character you want with the coins or currency that you get from the banner. Right? That's just what it is. It's not technically. I guess that's pity. Because you could technically have to go deeper than 25, so I guess that is pity. It's just not what I would think about, because pity to me is something different, but, you know. I was trying to get the weapon, but got 3+ Reno. Oh, that's not bad, though. And so in some games, the weapon is like the primary thing you want, and that's not the case in this game. This game, it's all about the characters, like, in my opinion. And getting dupes in the characters are insane. The weapons are really, really good. However, the most important thing is the character. Technically, that's the case in most games, because you need the character to use the weapon effectively. But the weapons are also versatile. They don't only go on one character specifically. You can put them on other characters that specialize in that type of weapon. So that's valuable, too. So it's not like weapons are bad. I just think that your primary should be the characters. And if you're getting dupes, you would want it on the character. And that's the one benefit of going hard on the Reno banner, is that you're going to get more likely anyway. You're going to be more likely to get the Reno dupes, so you can kind of target something, as opposed to the game gacha where it's just a mixed bag, right? T5 4-star Hoshina. He's all the way at the top. He's like 3rd and 4th, something like that. Do you skip the story? No, I did skip the memories, though, because I don't really care to see the stuff again. I already know how it goes. But I did watch the full in-game story. I'm ready for Sagan, man. She's gonna be really cool. Sagan, I don't know. But yeah, she's gonna be fun. I'm 28, so I'm close, I guess. I mean, you're not really close, but you're close to 30, which is when you get the next tiers. And you're going to see that huge spike in difficulty. Let's just say little use. Yeah, we may just have to do that. Put Coda in A. Kafka, Kota. Okay, so we'll move Kafka and Coda up. Okay. Coda does not deserve a tier. Well, he's there now. And remember, it's not so much about tiers. It's about ranking. Because I would have to have 30 numbers otherwise. The medals do carry over. Oh, the gachas, yes, those do at least carry over to the next banner. So you could technically get pretty close and then get the character next time pretty easily. That's another reason why it's okay, I guess, technically, to keep pulling on Reno until you get to that point. Just don't claim Reno from the shop or his weapon. Just save it. You could technically go to the next banner and be like, oh, there is that. It's somewhere in the game description. Yeah, I read that. It's in the gacha. It was like right over here. Just a lot of just blah in here. Related event and story. For every pull, blah, blah, blah. You receive 1 medal. The medals can be exchanged for the 5-star character. You can also earn pickup medals, or when you use gacha pulls. Pickup medals do not have an expiration date. There you go. The items available for exchange with the pickup gacha medals will be updated periodically as well, though. Yeah, I do wonder about when that shop will get updated. Reno will get removed from there and put into the other shop. But, yeah, those don't expire. Content can. That's not Coda. Is that not? Oh, you're right. Whoops. Whoops, my bad. I was on autopilot. Not coding. My bad. Reno goes into Gen pool anyways. General pool anyways. Oh, I wonder when. That's my question. When? We don't know when. Does it say in here specifically that he will? There's so much here I haven't read that. Does it say specifically Reno will go in here? I assume he will. I wonder if it'll be after friggin' 6 months like Persona is trying to do. Or if it's going to be after a few weeks. Acting like anyone is using 5-star Hoshina. Dude, you don't understand how flamed I got for having Hoshina around A tier in my video. People were mad about that. And my whole thing was, he's not higher because I can't use him because I have better characters that do what he wants to do. And that was still not defensible. But that's why I said, like, tier lists are never going to be a definitive consensus thing because everyone has their own opinions, right? Who are we putting next? Are you in a partner program with Kaiju number 8 the game? No, I'm not. Is there a partner program? I would like that. I just got accepted into the Squadra content creator program. That's not terribly surprising, but I did get in. When the banner ends, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I would love that. Don't get me wrong, I'd love that. This banner is up until 18th. Okay. Still another 2 weeks. So, like 2.5 weeks on the banner. I need stones, you know the stones, man. Yeah, his name is S-H-O-P. That's his name. All right, who's next on the list? Give me a character, we'll throw them in, just so we can finish this. And so I can go feed my kids. They're starting to get hungry, I'm sure. It's been a couple hours. I mean, he's good for newer players without Gan performing. Well, that's true. However, I think there's nothing wrong with selecting Kaiju as your starter. However, I would pick Gen. If it came out today, I would pick Gen. Which weapon should I pick with the Proof of Valor exchange? I'm sorry, I don't know what that one is by default. Let me see. Oh, that's the tower mode, right? That's that one. The Fierce Battle. Is that what that is? Is there not an exchange here for that? Oh, you're talking about the name of the medals, right? Those are encounters. Where the hell is that shop at? Isn't that what this is? Wait, what? Wrong button. At the Proof of Valor shop. Where the flippity flabbergast is that? Was it on the last screen and I didn't see it? Oh, shit. They didn't give me a Proof of Valor shop. I'm not allowed to exchange, so I don't know. I'm clearly not allowed to exchange. Okay. They don't want me to do it. I hate Shinami. Why? I don't think she's bad. I don't think she's, we talked about that. I just don't think she's amazing. Hoshina 5-star is way underrated. His level 80 passive is probably the best out of all the 5-stars. Yeah, Hoshina's really good. I think Hoshina's really good. But see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Hoshina's like low-key really controversial. Not that you're individually being controversial or anything. It's just people feel opposing ways about him. Scroll up and see your last chat. Did I miss chats? Oh, yeah, it was before the coda. My last comment lists from 4 stars. B tier, put the elemental. C tier, old man machine, and D tier. Okay, maybe we'll do that. Oh, that came through when I was reading the tier list or the shop stuff. Is it me, or is there two sets of those gold weapons, like one type in the summons and one in the metal shop? Are the metal shop ones the ones that are in the battle pass? Oh, I'm stupid. Holy shit, I'm stupid. I've actually never, and I kid you not, never, ever scrolled here. Holy shit, I'm stupid. And you guys didn't even tell me either. Holy shit, I'm stupid. I have literally never gone below credits here. You see, they're still marked as new. I've literally never scrolled here. Oh, man. That's low-key embarrassing, man. Oh, man. I think Hoshin is way better. I would rank him above Rin personally. Pretty sure no one uses Shino. Rin, yeah. I mean, somebody was advocating pretty hardly for them earlier. Yeah, we'll just do the elementals. You're like the Rad Brad of anime games. I hope that's a good thing. I don't know who that is, unfortunately. I need to check him out. Hopefully that's a good thing. I don't know. We'll put the elemental characters in there. In B. And then we'll follow up after that. Who's next? Are we just doing what he was saying earlier? But where does Reno fit into that? And the rest in C with Shinomiya at the bottom. There's better characters than Hoshina, otherwise he's good. Yeah, that's the thing. That's my whole thing about him, is I would rather use other characters than Hoshina. But that's just me, though. Am not going to lie. Am loving the game as much as Soul Leveling. I hope they keep the content coming. Yeah. I've been enjoying it, too. I've been prioritizing it. But some of that's just because I don't know the idol girls, so I don't care about the idol girls. That's obviously not me saying they suck or anything crazy. Like, I just don't know them, right? And maybe and part of the reason why they're running the collab is so you seek them out and find out about their music and find out who they are. I may need to do that. Maybe I'll wind up liking them. But I never really cared for it the first run around, and the second run around I don't care. However, I will say I'll go in and I'll get the characters. I don't own the characters. I'll get in it because I've been so busy here. I haven't logged in a couple days. I'll get the characters for collection purposes. He never told you because he thought that. Nah, fam, don't do me like that. I didn't even. You see, everything is new. In my defense, I never had a reason to scroll here. I never did. Never. I just didn't know. It's like the game just unlocked for me. Now I have more stuff to choose from. Great. I did not know. Oh, that's too funny. You know, the crazy thing is y'all didn't even tell me after I went here and looked like an idiot looking for it and still didn't see it. What was the question was which one to exchange here? I mean, you get another goddamn free weapon here, but people are pulling for the Reno repeatedly, and you get another free weapon here? I assume it's one per month, just like the other thing was. Let me see this shop. AX0112. I think these are different weapons. This is Axvar. The other one was AX0112. And then also, let me see the other name for the other axe in this box. This is a different one too. So this is Axe Dellinger. They've low-key got 3 sets of 5-star weapons in the game right now. I knew there was 2. I was pretty sure there was 2. But there's 3 sets of 5-star weapons in the game right now. And y'all going crazy for one weapon on the gacha, man. Now, again, I think that last box I just showed you may be restricted to pay only. I'm not sure if that... I have to go through the Battle Pass. That one is from the Battle Pass. But there's 3 different... Of each. Not just the axe, of all of them. Let's see. Reno is the second worst. Your screen is fixed to the tier list. You're correct. It's only on the tier list. I haven't plugged my phone in. Oh, I'm dumb again. I'm dumb again. It's how you know I'm tired, bro. I'm dumb again. I see what you're saying. You guys didn't know I didn't scroll. I forgot. Oh, it's time to go. It's time to go. For context, I'm sleep deprived playing this game so much and doing too many goddamn. I did 15 videos in like 2.5 days. So I'm like, I'm kind of dead. Reno is the second worst. But who would you go for, Gen or Blondie? I have Kaiju and Reno. Well, you are Blondie, Daddy? Are you talking about Esau? Are you saying between Esau and Gen? I would go for Gen. However, there is an argument, I think. I think Gen's just better, but I think there is an argument to say you want to get the sustain when you got 2 other DPSs, but I would still get Gen. But however, you're going to wind up not using one of them. Probably. I hope the free reign collab talks are true. Yeah, that just, like, I couldn't really get into it. So to me, it wasn't really hype and it didn't want to make me keep playing. Right? So, like, that's just me, though. And so, unfortunately, I kind of just didn't really care much about it. And I know they're doing other things than that. But I kind of just was like, I'll just kind of come back. Old Man Machine in C. Okay. I'll put those guys there. And I guess we'll just kind of do this because you guys said those were the worst 2 characters. We'll do that just to finish it off. I hope we don't do collabs. Collabs kind of killed Grand Cross, in my opinion. I don't have a problem with collabs. In fact, low-key, I was thinking about this last night. Collabs could be kind of dope for this game. Like, think about it. You have to get creative. If it's an anime collab, that could still be cool. Don't get me wrong. It could still be cool. But, like, it's a kaiju game. So what about getting actual kaijus? Right? That would be really cool. Can we get Gojira? Can we get Godzilla in this? Can we get King Kong? Can we get some of the others? Like the Moth? Can we get those? That would be insane. That would be so cool. I would mark out so much for that. That would be really, really, really cool. All the different characters in the Monsterverse, man. Can we get those characters? Right? Or you know what you could do? They're not going to do this. You know what you could do? You could collab with Ultraman. Put Ultraman in the game. Do it. Big equals good. That's what she said. You know what you also could do? You could put freaking Sentai in the game. Give me Megazords. Do it. They're not going to get that crazy. If we get a collab, it's going to be like another anime adjacent IP, and I won't be mad about it, but there's other anime IPs you can do. You know what's staring at us right in the goddamn face as a collaboration? That's an anime? Holy crap. I just thought about this. You know what's staring at us in the face? I'll wait a minute. I'll let you guys see if you can figure it out. Collabs aren't the worst thing, but if they're overdone, then yeah, they could be a problem. However, I did start Grand Cross because of the solo leveling collab. I mean, I started it years ago, but I came back. And that was fun. Scroll where we can't see. Stop it. Stop. Don't do it. Don't do it. I totally forgot my phone wasn't plugged in. Stop. Don't. If you say anything about it, I swear I'll deny it. It didn't happen. Reno weapon is hiding from me. See that? But you have other 5-star rifle options, man. AR Hyperion is the best for 4-star Mina. Okay. I bet. I have to go see it. But I bet. I'll take your word for it. I don't know the weapons by names yet. I have every character except for Gen. How do I get him? Get lucky on the summons, my boy. Hopefully you do. I mean, you're not hurting, though, if you got everything else. Then probably Gen. Esau is a great sustain, but Healer Girl is just as good to use. Yeah. I got 2 Reno on my first multi and singled the weapon instantly after. Damn. I pulled Reno and Kaiju. What 5-star should I claim? You haven't claimed anybody, huh? Okay, well, go get Gen. You're good. The squad setup, I said Mina, Gen, Reno, and Kaiju. I got this from ChatGPT. It's not bad. I assume you mean 5-star Mina again. That was out right earlier, right? I would still swap. If you're going to run a Mina, I would swap, but I would otherwise run Hoshina, but that's fine. Claim Gen. I got Minnie and Yuki alone. I need to sleep. See ya, man. Thank you for tuning in. I have 3 of the Rin machine guns, so I can get either. Missing Isao, Kikaru, and Kaiju 8. Who should I pick with the selector? Isao is the one I would take if you have all the other characters personally. But I again, argument can be made for Kaiju. You could also get a dupe for Gen if you want. Yeah, I get Gen, claim Gen. I have A1 Reno and A0 weapon. You're set, man. Don't worry about it. You're not missing anything, missing Mina. Mina's the only one I don't have, and it pisses me off. Well, I don't have Mina or Rin. And it does bother me for collection purposes, but I'm not like mad about it. I was really targeting Isao, and I was able to get him, and I got a dupe, so I was happy about that. I need one more dupe for his revival, though. How many hours do you play Kaiju 8 in the game? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I play other games pretty consistently, so I'm not always on Kaiju, but I played a good bit. Maybe like 3 or 4. Maybe more if I'm making videos. I mean, it's only been a few days. Like, it's not like it's been like weeks. So maybe like 3 or 4. I guess maybe that number is higher because I played it all night one night doing videos. So there you go. Oh, how about an Eren Yeager collab? AOT seems like the most yeah, you guys got it. That's what I was thinking about. It was AOT. I was like, holy crap, wait a minute. Attack on Titan low-key makes a lot of sense because you've got those giant ass characters you could put in and you could put those characters in here. You could have Eren, you could have all of them. Well, not all of them, but they'd probably just do the main characters. That could be really cool. That actually could be really cool. I wonder what character versions they would put. Would they put like the final versions of those characters? Like I don't want to, I mean, it's been out for a long time, man. But the final Eren, like, maybe they would do that. I don't know. Probably not. They would just do the initial, version of the character from the start of the series. The non-kid versions, of course. Bulma with a gun and Grade 8 Goku. Hey, they run a Dragon Ball game, so who knows? Who knows? That would actually be kind of cool. You low-key could put giant characters from Dragon Ball into this game, which is hilarious because it's a 3D game, and so it's like Legends is just crying in the corner. The gameplay is different, but this one's designed to play against giant characters, and Legends is like, oh, we would love to. Instead, they found a different way to implement them. Maybe, though, with ground battles, they could find a way, but I doubt it. Right? I doubt it. It's the same core problem. Trash Monsters would be good. Pacific Rim. Yeah, that would be a good one. Spider Eren. Yeah, that's a good name to call him. All right, guys. I have to go. This went for an hour and a half. Firstly, thank you. I really appreciate you guys coming in, showing love, hanging out, staring at this tier list screen. You probably put me on in the background because there wasn't really much happening on the screen, but sorry about that. Didn't really have much to show. Maybe next time we do something like this, I'll show my screen because I've been just kind of grinding on the side. But I do appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. I wanted to get this done last night. I had to wind up giving my dog a bath, and that changed things for me. Speaking of my dog, he's on the treadmill. I need to get him off. He's been on the treadmill the entire time. But, I mean, he's just walking. So it's not like he's on there sprinting or nothing. So I had to change the time of it. But ultimately, though, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.